When you say "ow," that sounds painful.
Not
So
the
why would
ow.
you
Shut
say?
up. What is going on? Good people. Impact Wrestling Review for 1/18/2019. I forgot it was on a Friday. And y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Nobody watching. Nobody like in the actual panel right now is gonna believe this. Neither Rabbit nor Casey is gonna believe this. I barely believe it. I watched the show live on a Friday. Can you believe it? Can you believe? I watched the show live, bro. I watched it live. I don't know how. I almost forgot about it. Justin didn't tell me, and Justin of all people told me it was live. So like it was just a complete just. But anyway, this show was not as good as last week's, I didn't think. But nonetheless, it had some cool matches in it, and I was excited for it. And it had a segment that I really enjoyed, and I laughed a lot at, and I'm still laughing to this day at it. But anyway, overall thoughts on the show, I thought it was a pretty good show. It won't too bad. I feel like last week was better. There was something about last week that was just really good. I mean, other than that, like it had some intriguing matches, but it was I didn't think it was as good. But Casey, overall thoughts on the show, and if you want to talk about last week how they kind of started off the year, you can because obviously you didn't make it. If you watched, you probably didn't watch it. Yeah, because I mean I know Casey, like I know he probably didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, but the highlights look good. The highlights look good. So I'm excited to. Oh wait, I can't even go watch it because Twitch doesn't let you watch anything ever from the past.
That is weird. Like I hate that.
I
like
mean,
that's the dumbest thing ever.
I tried to go on there and tried to find it, and I didn't find it. But I watched Joe Henry podcast on there, so that was good. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch Homecoming if I can figure out how to where to Impact. You done it. You finally done it. You got a channel I don't get. You finally done it. They kept trying and they kept trying, and I was like, I got this one. They finally got the one I don't got.
I do think it's good that they are on Twitch though. It gives them a way to kind of track who's watching online. Gives them another kind of outlet to stream from, especially if you don't have the channel. Uh, I think Rabbit and I kind of talked about this, or maybe it was Casey and I don't know, but I still feel like it's weird that they can't find a better channel than like Pursuit. That they can't find a better channel than channels that we just don't know of. Like at least give me a channel I know of. Like come on. Like, bro, like at least like Pursuit sound like something they made up just for Impact. Like, come on, bro. Like, what y'all doing? Like, give me something that I know just a little bit. Come on. Come on. They weren't wrestling on MTV one time. Come on, y'all can do it, bro. Come on. Anyway, um, Rabbit. Overall thoughts on the show?
And I think Pursuit is in Pennsylvania or something like that. It's not even a nationwide channel. It's just man.
It's a
Yeah,
local.
the last
It's
It's just
not
a
in Pennsylvania. I don't get it.
Hey, but last week the booking and everything was just a little different than it was this week. It was a little sloppy this week. I don't know what was going on. That was why wish Casey was on here last week. So maybe me and DJ maybe was lunching at the time. We maybe wasn't seeing things right. You know what I'm saying? But this right here is not the same way it was last week. I know that. DJ.
man. Come on. Bruh, this match was the most confusing, somewhat match I ever seen in my life. First off, we had KM and Fallah Bahh come out. KM was like the main dude here, and Caleb Conley got a Java entrance. What? I feel like that should be at least flipped a little bit. Come on, what in the world? Huh? This didn't make no sense. Like they started off with this match and I almost walked away. I ain't even playing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love KM and I love Fallah Bahh, but you ain't starting the show off with this crap. Come on. Like, come on. Like, I didn't think anything was up, but I should have known. Brian Cage would come out. I felt like they rung the bell way too early though. Like we were still backstage and they was ringing the bell. I'm like, what? We was still backstage watching Brian Cage beat up people, and they rung the bell, and I'm like, you can't call no contest till he get out there, bro. Like y'all don't understand the concepts like of the wrestling. Like you can't just be like it's a no contest because he's beating people up in the back. I thought somebody had won the match. It says here listed no contest. How is it listed no contest when you rang the bell before he even came? Anyway, he comes out. He destroys absolutely everybody. I think I took a drill claw out there. The man destroyed everybody, even the referee. He calls out Johnny Impact. Johnny Impact comes out to be attacked by Moose and Killer Cross and kind of to be left laying. And then Brian Cage just destroys this man. I need heel Brian Cage right now. Like this is like heel Brian Cage. Like I need this. I need him just beating up people. Like I need this to happen. I need this to happen every week. I need to see a new person beat up. Come on, that's the perfect. I think that's the perfect description for what Brian Cage needs to do. But it basically we would end up seeing Brian Cage versus Moose coming up later in the show. We'll get to that later in the show. Casey, thoughts on the opening match and the no contest that was kind of not a no. Anyway, and you had the aftermath of the no contest. Casey.
On behalf of Brian Cage, because he's not here, he couldn't make it. We were trying to get him on, he couldn't make it. Yeah, he's busy. I would like to say, you're welcome, Rabid. Your wish was finally granted. Falaba and KM were killed. They dead. They gone. They just, that man. I don't know what it was about this show, but like the poor people in the backstage got killed by everybody. Like Brian Cage killing random people in the backstage, then Tessa Blanchard attacking random people. I'm like, it's just not safe back there this week. There's poor people that. But yeah, I didn't like the opening match. And this is one of kind of my pet peeves in wrestling is I don't what's the point of having a match if you're just gonna cut to the backstage and to something that's way more important than the match in the ring. I mean, yeah, for the people that are there that are live, it's cool, blah blah blah, you can still see the match, but what if I was interested in this match? What if I actually wanted to watch this match? You just
I mean, but they knew nobody was. Like they knew.
Bro, my boy Caleb Conley was out there though.
I mean, but KM was going against him. Like, come on, man. Like you can't ask me for so much.
I wanted to see Caleb Conley get a jobber match. I did. I wanted to see him.
He got the jobber entrance.
They were switching it. He got the new tights. He got everything. He getting a push. He getting a push, baby. He getting a push. He not.
Yeah. Rabbit.
I'm gonna tell you, KD and Falaba has used up all the airtime they need. They need no more. This should be the last time we see KD and Falaba. Where my baba? Period. Should be the end. Now, the part that's throwing me off with this now, with Cage is this is heel activity, right? You can't put your hands on people backstage and the refs, drill clawing refs, and then act like you face. That's just over. you can't run around doing all that, and then you the face part is over. Because it really was no reason for him to put his hands on the referee and all these extra people, So for him to do that, that's heel activity. So I don't know who else do that but heels. You can't get away from the fact that he just did a whole bunch of heel activity. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't know where they're going from this point on with that. But whether he good or bad, I don't know what they're doing. But oh my God, Katie, forget them. The Killer Cross could come in and join at the end. I'm in love with Killer Cross, man. The man is from the beginning. I liked him from the beginning, and now it's just more because he got more of a depth to him, and you know what I'm saying. He been on the mic for a while now. Now I got to really know him, and now I just like the pairing with Moose. I just like that whole thing right there, man. And they came in the end. I just like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Moose combo without my man A double. You know what I'm saying? They still a nice combo with just those two. So I just like that whole thing right there. This whole thing I like. And I don't like the going to Mexico for 7 weeks. What's that about, man? You know? That's why I say if you don't have a big channel or somewhat some kind of channel, this is what you're gonna be doing. You know, DJ.
Um, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it too much because I feel like I feel like it's just them traveling to somewhere else. Like they stayed in the impact zone for like 5 years, so they trying to get out of there and go to different places. And I don't mind it too much. Um, and it really just depends on how they set everything up. I like because I'm liking kind of the setup right now. Uh, Obviously the ring has changed again. I think like since the beginning of the year, the ring got bigger. Like it just randomly just like they put something in there, some Miracle Grow or something. They got bigger, but moving on to the next match we had, which was Eddie Edwards versus Ethan Page, and they had Eli Drake on commentary. Eli Drake kind of calling out Eddie Edwards. I'm liking this thing that Eli Drake is doing with the kind of last of a dying breed type thing and the hardcore wrestling stuff. I feel like he should have went a little bit more of the. He should have went a little bit more in the direction like Drew Gulak went, with kind of like the no fly zone type thing. I think it would have made more sense because I think the thing he's talking about with the hardcore wrestling doesn't necessarily make like a lot of sense because there's not a lot of hardcore wrestlers out there. I don't think like not really like it used to be. Like it's more flying and flipping and dipping and that's the closest you're gonna get to me saying those words, KK. Flying and flipping and stuff. Like more than but I get it because it does correlate with Eddie Edwards' character right now. What, Casey?
Have you seen?
Huh?
Have you seen CZ Dub?
I mean, I have, yeah, but like I'm talking about in Impact. Like, there's not a lot of hard. Like, I mean, there's Abyss, there's Eddie Edwards. I mean, Raven was there once. Like that's about it. Tommy Dreamer show up every once in a while. Like, there ain't nobody that's like consistently there though.
But like CZ Dub though.
I mean, and they did do that even on Impact. They did in the LAX thing and the forehead. Anyway, this match was pretty good. I liked it. I like, we talked about this before, how Eddie Edwards kind of exhibits some of his older mannerisms and behaviors, and Eli Drake kind of picked up on that on commentary, which was nice. And then after the match, obviously, Ethan Page won via disqualification, but after the match, Eli Drake was kind of talking about Eddie Edwards and how he's been in the title picture before. He's been world champion. He even faced Eli. Eli when Eli was world champion, and he was kind of like that the guy that was world champion, the guy that was in the title picture. This was the old Eddie Edwards. This was the traditional wrestler type Eddie Edwards, not the crazy Kenny Wilden or whatever he said. Eddie Edwards, and I like this. I thought it was good. I think it's probably going to break Eddie Edwards out of this character more than likely. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens. I still feel like it, to me, and this is just a weird thing to me. I think it makes less sense for Eli Drake to be the one to break him out of his character, rather than him hitting his own wife with a kendo stick and that not break him out of the character. Like, I feel like that would be the personal enough thing to like break him out of the character, not Eli Drake saying, you're not world championship material anymore. I just, personally, given who Eddie Edwards is and the type of wrestler he is, but that was just my thought process on that. Casey, thoughts on Eddie Edwards versus Ethan Page and then Eli Drake on commentary and after the match? Well,
This was another match that annoyed me because this wasn't necessarily a jobber match. You know, Ethan Page is good. Eddie Edwards is good. You know, they're both booked well. I just felt like I was way too distracted with uh, Eli Drake on commentary. Like maybe it was just me, but I couldn't focus on the match like I wanted to because it was all Eli Drake, you know, and I don't know. But the match wasn't bad from what I could kind of pay attention to. It was just I love you, Eli, and I love you talking, but like when I'm trying to watch the match, can you shut up, dummy? Yeah. Go ahead.
Rabbit.
The match itself was just some garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a jobber match. You know what I'm saying? It looked like Eddie Edwards was a jobber, and it looked like both of them was two jobbers. That's the whole point of see, Eli Drake is on. I could be Eli Drake right now because he basically said everything I've been saying. The whole point. This nonsense he doing, he come out with stick calling it Kenny. Like, come on, man. I mean, it's getting dumb. You know, it's not no Janice or no Wild. He just walk around, they ain't call the joint Kenny. That's just dumb stuff. The hardcore stuff. He done lost his wife. Just like my man Drake say, he lost his wife and all this stuff. Now he just walking around with cross eyes and a stick called Kenny. And then he said, when was the last time somebody won a match off one of those dives? None. So you need to go back and get those green tights, get out of the character like I've been saying from the beginning because he fumbled and bumbled it from the start. It ain't even no good character no more. He just then hardcore, like he been saying, it's nothing. It's no more hardcore left. That's why they always bring up older hardcore wrestlers because there's no more. You know what I'm saying? That's his whole point of this. Like that's over. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's why you're not in the picture to get no titles no more because this is nonsense you doing. You know? That's his whole point, right? I like it though, man. I like the whole Drake joint he got going on with this joint. I like the whole thing, man. I like it. DJ.
I don't know if y'all been watching the game, but bro, Steph Curry all the way off. This man slipped and airballed a three. Like Steph Curry on airball three. Like you know, like. Sorry, just referring to this quick video on Facebook though. It was hilarious. SportsCenter put it out, and I was dying because I'm like, Steph Curry is all the way off. This man slipped and airballed a three. Huh? Was that Seth out there? Was it Seth out there? I think Seth was out there. I think they switched though. They did that twin magic. They even twin. They did that twin magic though. But back into the show, OBE with the OBE cam, I guess is what they call it. And Sammy Callahan, everything. That's pretty much what I got out of that. And the Rascals preparing for Trey's match, bro. This was the most funniest thing I ever have watched it ever. Like, dude, when he came out in the suit, he was like, he came out in the suit in the crowd. He was like, I didn't know that was gonna be no dance. I was dead. And then like the reactions from Dez and why can't I remember the other guy's name?
The best part of the whole segment, dude. One of them is a zombie guy, and the other one is a firebird. Oh
But I love them so much. I think they're hilarious. This is a good way to kind of build them and like introduce them to the crowd. You know, even more with kind of their little funny little antics. And I like them. I think they're hilarious. KC, thoughts on the Rascals or everything? Oh, sorry.
The Rascals are one of the greatest things I've seen ever, and I want more of these segments all the time. And I need commentary to react to them like they did tonight, where they were like, they seem so chill. I wonder why that is. I was like, but and then OVE, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Dave's gonna turn on him. I know it. Just the way he's in the back, he's like, bruh, he's gonna turn on him. I can see it. It's coming.
Won't Jake looking kind of weird tonight too? Like, well, I mean, in this show, like Jake looked like he was like a little off.
A little, but Dave always does that. Like, if you watch him in the back in the promos that they do, he's always like not sure,
Yeah.
it, like he's gonna turn on him or something, or he's like not agreeing with what they're doing. But I'm waiting.
All right. Rabbit thoughts on the Rascals and OVE?
They got the same feeling with OVE. It's gonna be a turn somewhere. But the thing is, when they keep trying to get Swan in there, that's off. What is that about?
Yeah,
Is Swan from
I
Ohio?
think too. I think too.
Yeah,
They're starting to really play off of this. What is it? Family is everything thing too. Now, like you're hearing that a lot. So I definitely can agree because they're starting to hit that like every week.
Exactly. And I like the little rascals, man. I like the little joint when they do that. Like the little rascals do the joint under the little chin joint and all that. They do all that. I like it. Then the wrestler that was in the ring tonight, I like him too. So I like the whole little rascals joint. That's a good idea. You know?
All right, moving on to Dark Alley with Sue Young going up against Jordan Grace with Kiera Hogan. Bruh, Dark Alley, greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm just saying, greatest thing ever. Besides Scarlett Bordeaux's Instagram. Anyway, bro, like, was this a drama match or what? Because like at first, the way they brought it out, it made it feel like Jordan Grace was the underdog, and then Jordan Grace killed her. Jordan Grace just destroyed Allie. And I'm like, I didn't expect that to happen because Jordan Grace has been there, but she ain't really been there lately, like to me. So like, and Allie's kind of been in the mix of this whole Rosemary coming back and Sue Young and Kiera Hogan type thing. Anyway, but I like this though, but not like it's been a long time since I like marked out. But when Rosemary popped up in Sue Young's spot, bro, I was like, okay, okay then. I likes this. Like this is what I needs right now. Like I thought it was freaking amazing. It was awesome. It was a cool little visual with Allie. Like like Allie kind of like came back to reality for a minute. Like it was cool. I thought it was awesome. But then I was like, what's Sue Young though? Like where's she at though? Like because I know she got to be there somewhere. Like where's she at though? But I liked it though. I wonder what they're gonna do with Jordan Grace because I really don't know right off. Like it seemed like they pushing her real hard for like a title push here soon, but at the same time, it's like they kind of stopped pushing her like at the beginning of the year, so it's weird. But Casey, thoughts on Ali? With Sue Young versus Jordan Grace with Kia Hogan.
um, I don't know what Kiera Hogan wasn't even here. It was Kiera Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry. I have to go on a little rant here. Okay, I can understand in independent promotions a ring announcer getting a name wrong because you have different guys coming in every month, every week, whatever. Impact has a set roster. Kiera Hogan has been on this roster for a long time now. How do you mess her name up and call her Kiera Hogan? How you do that? How you?
That's the way she looked.
Oh man, that's like calling AJ Styles AC Styles. Anyway, this was a Java match, and it was a confusing Java match, like DJ said. I was like, yeah, Ali's gonna win because they're not gonna push Jordan yet. They gonna make it, wait for it, and then she killed her, and I was like, wait, hold up. So she getting the title next week? Is that what going on right now? Because she like it was a dominant killing too. It wasn't like she found a way to win. Like she made a way to win. You don't do that to my girl Allie though. You don't do that to Dark Allie like that. And then my wife came back. My wife came back. Wifey back. You know, she back. I like the new look. I do. I like it.
Yeah, you know what I really liked about it, like, cause they matched. That was cool.
yeah, I like that they're playing off of that. That's definitely cool. So I'm definitely I'm curious to see where they go with this from here. I like it though.
Indeed, rabid thoughts.
Yeah, I've been liking Grace since the first day she came out. I always say that I want to see more of her. She had nice elbows, nice stiff back elbows. She had the drained brain suplexes, pretty joint. And her finisher looked like she did the finisher that one of them Migos do, not Migos, one of the one of what's the name brothers. They do that finisher, but it was nice though. It was nice finisher on the joint. But the only thing I don't understand is how do my girl turn into um she turned into her, but she never appeared. Like, what is that about? What's that? You know what I'm saying? They the same person now, or what? What is that? That was just dumb.
Unless they trying to play off like it was a mental thing, like unless they trying to play off like Allie thought she was a Su Young the whole time, but in actuality, we can't take too much into this. Let's be honest. Like, this is mystical
The lights
stuff.
go out. I know the lights go out and then switch to her. It's like, what is that about? What is that? You know, that was just dumb to me.
I mean,
Because
it's kind of like I mean, it's happened with Undertaker and Kane before, where like the lights went out and Undertaker popped up, but it was Kane there originally. Like, it's happened before. Like, it. I just thought it was a cool moment. I'm already like, yeah, I was like, I was like, I know I don't like.
I like the whole thing when you look at it visually, but then when you start thinking like, okay, what the hell just happened? What was that about? You know what I'm saying?
You can't think about this type of stuff too much because you will be like, you know what? Where she at though? Like, what? Like, she at though? But next we had Scarlett Widow revealing herself as the winner of the talent search. I likes the red. I likes the red. I likes the red. I likes the red. And then we had Brian Cage versus Moose. I love Moose so much. He my favorite. He my favorite, man. I mean, I mean, two of the teams that Moose played for is going for the Super Bowl, so that means Moose for champ. That's what that means. Moose for champ, man. Moose for. I mean, this is what that means. He went up against Brian Cage. Like, you ain't have to drill call that man like that though. Like you could have beat him some other way, not on the man head like that though. Like, he got a lot of head, bro. Like, come on. Don't do the man like, come on. But I thought this was good. I liked it. This is a match I want to go back and kind of revisit because I was excited for this. Now, it won't Cage Lashley. It won't Cage Lashley and nothing. But, it won't too bad. I thought it could have been better, though. I felt like it was something missing from this match. I don't know what it was exactly, but it felt like it was something missing. Almost like they weren't going all the way in or something. But Cage won with the drip call because this man, how this man be drill calling people like that? That's a big man to be dropping down like. Yes, Casey. What was it?
I'm gonna need you to never say going in all the way again.
He goes in. They gotta go in all the way, man. All the way. Going in. Casey. Talk about him going in all the way. All the way.
No one's going in all the way ever because this ain't that kind of show. I don't like Moose, and I always knew there was a reason I didn't like Moose, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then the nice people in internet land posted a picture. Actually, I think it was Moose himself posted a picture that reminded me why I don't like Moose. Because he played for the enemy. He played for the.
You ain't even know him back then.
Yeah, and I knew I hated him. I knew it. I knew I hated that man. Hate him. But now he's coming out with with no pants on, just wearing the trunks and a gold shirt. Like,
Always do that.
it's not even like a good gold shirt, bruh. I listen, listen. If you, there's an application, it's called where that though? Where that though? Hold up. It's
They
called
made his music. What
it's
is wrong
called
with him?
it's called Wish. He got that shirt on Wish. Oh, I saw it on there. He got it on the Wish. It's made in China. It's real cheap. He trying to make it look extra, and it's. I hate this man. I'm glad he got drill caught on the head. I'm glad. I hope all his head broke. I hope all of it broke. I just don't like him anymore. I really don't. Like, there's really no reason, but I just don't like that man. He ain't a pimp.
You just mad because he get pushed more than your tag team in the WWE. Like, is that what it is? Like it's a little bitterness in there. Rabbit.
Man, first of all, Cage, I don't like the no sales, man. You can't do that. They had a nice power bomb into clothesline that was nasty. But the athlete in this joint with the high drop kick, Moose, man, drop elbows into the knee. Man, he just vicious. The nip ups for his size. Vicious, yo. Moose is vicious, yo. That's why your man don't like it. He outshined Cage in his match. That's why. Mac had a decent flow, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you said, it's not no Cage and Lashley or no Rude Lashley. None of that, man. Just just a normal match. DJ.
All right.
Yeah, because he beat Lashley clean, and that makes a damn good match.
It's a fluke.
Going to Ty Valkyrie is on the phone with Josh Matthews about her update. She's gonna be back next week. And Tessa Blanchard attacked everybody backstage. Gail Kim pulled it off, and obviously we getting this match. It's going to happen.
I mean, if it makes it any better, Lashley is the Intercontinental Champion right now.
That don't make it better, no.
I see with this. I just be laughing at Sanjay Dutt coming out of nowhere being management. I'm just saying, like this man was in the ring and then randomly was management, like randomly just like retired or just and was like, you know what, like he had that one promo on top of the stage when Killer Cross was attacking people, and he was like, we gotta stay cool, guys. And ever since then, this man been in management. Ever since then,
Bro, he been in management for like 2 years now. Where you been?
He also been wrestling. This man, who you think he is? Triple H or something?
Yeah.
Triple H or something? Like, but I like the Ty Valkyrie thing. We talked about Rabbit and I talked about this last week. We both agreed that wrestling is lacking violence against women. Not in that way, but in a wrestling storyline way that we don't get. Like, we never get this anymore. Like we talked about it last week, how it was the big deal heel thing to do back in the Attitude Era, was to attack a woman. Like, it was like the big thing to do. And we talked about like Bubba Ray Dudley, how he'd always put women through tables, and we'd be like, hate him, kick him out. Throw him in jail. Like you just really didn't like him for it. And I think Killer Cross like really helped his heel persona by attacking Ty Valkyrie. I want to see what exactly they do. And I'm wondering about Testa's going crazy, and she can't be doing that. She's still the best. Like, she can't go crazy yet. But Casey thoughts on Killer Cross and the Ty Valkyrie. She coming back next week, and Tessa Blanchard attacking everybody. I mean everybody backstage.
I hate when this man takes things and he's like, talk about all of these things, and I gotta remember.
It was two segments back to back. It was literally 2 segments that was back to back. That was like back to back. They was like this. They was like this. Oh, sorry, back like that.
So Ty Valkyrie is not cleared to compete this week. Bro, she got powerbombed onto a bunch of people. She fine. Like, they caught her. She fine. Like, she didn't go through a table or nothing. She got powerbombed onto a bunch of people who caught her and then fell. Like,
But the fall was hard, you know.
it won't. That's all. It won't. It was the softest fall I ever seen. She good. But as far as the Tesla, she angry. She has a right to be angry. Even though she lost fair and square. But I love Scott D'Amore. Just Scott D'Amore is so loud for no reason. He's just yelling for no. You're suspended. Get out of here! I'm like, calm down, bro. But she was attacking everybody. She was attacking women, men, like Gail Kim twice. Like, come on now, you need to calm down. It was not safe backstage. It's just you're suspended. Get out of here. I'm Canadian. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I like when man threw out the ring, like you said. It's not really violence on women, but it's getting them involved to the point where you can look at it like, oh, he really a heel. That's really a heel there. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just powerbombing. He threw her. She went flying some feet. You see what I'm saying? In the air when he tossed her. You know, that was nice. I like that. Killer Cross. I like Killer Cross. Period. But Blanchard, come on, man. I love her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know I love her, man. But this is overkill. Again, here's another person going back there hitting all these people that has nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? But she choked Gail Kim, almost choked her out. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't like is she gets suspended immediately. Immediately, on the spot, she's suspended. But you got Cage, he ran around, he did the same exact thing in the same show. Ain't nobody even call his name out, let alone suspend him. You know? Now, I'm not a female, but that is kind of sexist there. You know? That's just crazy. How'd you get suspended off the break like that? Yeah? That was crazy. That was crazy. DJ?
Because Scott D'Amore ain't messing with the effing machine. Like, let's be honest. Like he ain't doing it. Moving on to the Rich Swann versus Trey match. I thought this match was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was cool to see Trey Miguel in this match against Rich Swann. This was one I was like, all right, let me finish this up, put this down. Like for real. Like I was like, let me put the phone down. I gotta watch this one. I got to. I can't be tweeting. I can't be tooting. I can't be calling nobody. I can't be snapping. I'm gonna be watching. So I watched this one. I loved it. I thought it was good. You know, I after the match when Sami Callihan and them came out, bro, like hold up, like they had these different shirts on in the backstage there, and then they trying to give the man a different shirt. Like, why ain't they had a shirt with the man face on it? Who was that guy? Was that Jake? It was one of the Chris brothers on the man's shirt backstage. So why they didn't give him the one with the face on it? You know, I don't understand. Like maybe he want the printed tee. You know, he want the printed tee. That's probably why he didn't accept the offer. Anyway. But good match though. I enjoyed it. That will lead up to the main event, which we'll talk about here in a second. LAX versus OVE. Plenty of non-title matches tonight. Plenty of like title matches that could have been title matches, but won't. But Casey, thoughts on Trey Miguel versus Rich Swann?
Michael. Oh wait, no, not Michael. Sorry, my bad. I love Trey Miguel. I love the Rascals. I do. And I was excited for this match, even though I knew he wasn't gonna win because obviously Rich Swann is the X Division champion, and even though it wasn't a championship match, you generally don't win over the champion. and if you do, you get a big push, and they're not going to give him the big push yet. Um, but I could definitely see these guys eventually winning, individual titles, tag team titles, whatever. Um, but definitely a good match. Yeah, you saw it. You saw it. Uh, definitely a good match. I like it. I hope to see more of them. I hope they start to push them a lot to titles. Uh, and then after the match, OB comes out trying to get Rich Swann to join them, which makes sense. He is from Ohio, and for Ohio, by Ohio, all that stuff.
We're taking over every.
Um, I like though that LAX came out and kind of broke this up because that it builds up the suspense. It makes you wait longer to see, is he going to join? Is he not going to join? Um, and I also like that it was a good transition from that match to the main event. It wasn't just the typical, okay, this match is over, go backstage for a segment, and then back to the match. It was kind of, what are you, this man over here?
This man didn't lay down. This man didn't lay. I'm done with Facebook. Rabbit.
Yeah, this match was fast paced, quick. I like the chain wrestling in the joint, the combo moves. It was nice, Swan had a nice standing Hurricanrana off the top rope. Nasty. Frog splash was nasty. The 450 he did was nasty. Oh, that was just nasty. It was a nice match right here. Nice match. I like the joint. But I was just want to see more Swan in competitive matches, man. I want to see more of them, but this was all right. It was a decent match. I just want to see more a competitive match with him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in that joint. But this was decent. The part at the end, at first I was thrown off why they came in, but now you say they from Ohio. Now I understand why he's from Ohio. I didn't know that. So it was confusing to me why they kept trying to get him in the joint, but now if he's from Ohio, of course they're gonna try to get him in there. So I get it now. DJ.
Alrighty. Moving on to the main event, which was LAX versus OVE. Um, this was a good match as it usually is. I enjoyed it. It was a good way to end the show. Plenty of you know great tandem offense, which I always like, and I think these two teams are like some of the best at the tandem offense. I really want to see OVE like. I know, like, I hope they break away from Sammy Callahan, but I hope they stay together as far as the Chris, because I think they deserve a title run because they ain't. I mean they've had one, but like I don't know. I think maybe they deserve one alone. I think they because I think sometimes the Chris get overshadowed by Sammy Callahan because Sammy Callahan is just over the top and just how Sammy Callahan is. But I like this though. I thought it was a good main event. I was surprised this was the main event over like especially Cage and Moose. Like you would have thought that would have been the main event. Like I know this was the one that was already kind of booked, but they could have easily had Cage and Moose be the main event. I was kind of surprised to see the tag teams kind of get the shine in the main event. But Casey, thoughts on the main event of the evening?
It was good. It was good. I love these two teams. So anytime you put them together, I'm a happy man. I'm happy for Ortiz. He finally got his hair done. There was that one week where he started it and like he never finished it. Now he got it all good. He looking fresh. As the young kids say. I'm old. I don't know. But Santana's still the
Fresh
better.
out studio.
Yeah, but Santana's still the better of the team. So there's that. Um, so I liked it. I'm curious what happens with what the after the match and backstage segment because there was a little teaser there, but we'll get to that.
All right, and Rabbit, the thoughts on the main event of the evening?
It was entertaining, but it just wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Serious about it. It was just entertaining. Like the suicide dives Santana was doing. Always he get to do nice suicide dives, but overall, man, they had a nice suplex off top rope into the cutter. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So that's the OVW always hit that joint, but OVE always hit that joint. But the overall match itself, it wasn't there for me, man. It's just like it's a rerun of these two. I mean, these two teams going at each other. It's stale now. You know what I'm saying? Unless they put some new spark into this, it's enough of these two going at each other. It shouldn't have even been no main event. You know what I'm saying? This shouldn't have been a main event at all. This wasn't even a main event caliber match, and it just wasn't it. You know what I'm saying, DJ?
All right, and then after the match, LAX and Lucha Bros, they're gonna set up to have another one next week. I think for the titles, right? If I'm not mistaken. And that's pretty cool because obviously they're going to Mexico, so it'll be kind of cool to have kind of everybody back in their hometown going against each other. With that kind of that crowd too. I think that'll be fun. I'm assuming they would do this as the main event, which I also find it weird that they did a tag team match as the main event this week, and they probably gonna do a tag team match as the main event next week for the title. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird, and then. I think that was it. Casey, thoughts on the Mexico City battle that we're gonna have next week? Possibly for the title.
I didn't think they actually set up a match.
Did they not? I know they set the challenge up or something like that.
Well, no, because they kind of, did the handshakes in the back and like, oh, we're friends and stuff. And I think Ortiz said something like, if you guys ever want to get your butt whooped again, we're here. And then Conan was like, what are you doing? Oh, with you. And then it cut off. So they didn't necessarily set up something, but, they kind of set a little tension there.
There's always tension between Conan because he's serious like a period.
The only thing I don't like about the Mexico, to me, it's almost over for the product because now you on first of all, you're on a station that's called something. Don't nobody know it's in Pennsylvania. That you're on that station, first of all. So people gotta actually look for you. Now you're not even in the States now. So the next several weeks, you in Mexico. So can't nobody hear about you in LA. They can't hear about you in Georgia. Can't hear about you in Pennsylvania. There's no hearing about you no more. You're on a station nobody know about. Now, how you think that's gonna play out?
I mean, I think it'd be fine because it's not like they still ain't broadcasting it. Like they still gonna broadcast it. We found a way to watch it.
And awareness. You want your product to be known so you can expand it. If you can't expand it, it's gonna die. You're gonna take it to Mexico. Mexico money is not gonna save you in America, first of all. So you're in Mexico. With Mexico, they know you at. They know the wrestlers. They meeting the wrestlers. They seeing the wrestlers. But in the States, nobody is seeing them. You're not seeing them on TV. They're not even on the ground. You get what I'm saying now? So they out of sight, out of mind, really. That's what I'm getting to.
I mean, but I guess my question is, what's the difference? Like, regardless of where they are, I mean, they could be in my backyard, but they still gonna.
All right, let's say they was in Virginia. Let's say they did the same thing 7 weeks in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would get more eyes on it that's in the States than going to Mexico for 7 weeks?
Not necessarily because the town is still the same. The show is still the same. They just in a different country.
That's my point. You're not being heard of in the States itself, like in Virginia or next to Virginia, Maryland, from hearing about that wrestling show. Or, you know what I'm saying? When you go in the South, you hear about the wrestling show. You feel me? You're not hearing about no wrestling shows. It's not on the TV screen. It's nowhere. Unless you live in Mexico. Then the wrestlers are there. You see what I'm saying?
But it's not
like so if they're not here in the States itself, that's a problem. Because no one is seeing them.
I don't know. I still feel
Is no
like
one taking
I still
selfies
feel
with him in Virginia?
like I feel like
Is no one taking selfies with him in Georgia? Is no one taking selfies with him in Pennsylvania? They just out of sight. They just gone.
I mean,
And then they
at
on
the same time, like I guess
they're not on TNT
my
and TBS.
question
They're
is
not
like,
on ESPN. How do you even know they exist now?
I mean, but still, like
For
I mean,
next 7 weeks.
they did these shows in Nashville, and they still, I mean, but it's not like they're not on pursuit. Like they're still broadcasting the show, regardless of where they are. It's still going to broadcast at the same time.
It doesn't matter where they go. They're still on Pursuit. They're still on Twitch. If you don't have Pursuit, you can still watch them on Twitch. If you're an Impact fan, you know that they're on Twitch. You can watch them on Twitch. It doesn't matter what country they go to. And if you want to be a internationally known company, why wouldn't you want to go to other countries? WWE does it all the time, and they're the biggest company in the world.
I just explained why. Because no one will hear about you that lives here. You get what I'm saying? You in Mexico. We know you on Twitch or whatever the pursuit is because we looking for it. We love wrestling. For them to expand their product, no new eyes are going to be on it. No new people going to recognize it. It's not in the States. It's not in LA. It's not in Virginia. It's not in Pennsylvania.
So what you're saying is they can't get new fans in Mexico.
Mexican fans.
Mexican fans aren't
Mexican fans. That's gonna put it on their Facebook page, but not here in the States.
What's the problem with that?
That counts.
It doesn't matter where you're getting new fans as long as you're getting new fans.
That's how you end up.
And I think the same thing is like regardless, like if you get new fans of Pentagon Jr., that don't mean that that's not going to trickle back to America. Like,
how that's going to happen?
Because if I'm a fan of Pentagon Jr. and I'm like, oh snap, Pentagon Jr. is wrestling, let me. So
you're gonna look for it. That's different. Now, say if I live in Virginia,
I think it's different because like that's the one thing about being on Twitch that I think is a good thing for Impact, where there's a certain amount of homes you can reach in Pursuit. Regardless with Twitch, there's unlimited reach. You can reach anybody in any country. It don't matter.
Twitch.
Even without that, bro. Facebook all the time. You're gonna see something. Twitter, you're gonna see something.
And as long as you following them on Twitter, you get like you know
what
was coming
in Mexico. Who gonna hear about that? But us that's looking for it. Let's say I live in Virginia and that show was in Virginia for 7 weeks. I haven't watched wrestling for 5 years. I'm gonna hear about this show because I live in Virginia. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, but they probably won't ever come to Virginia. Is the thing?
You understand that?
There's certain states that they never hit.
Hold up.
Do you understand what I just said? So, if I was a wrestling fan and ain't watched wrestling in 5 years and wrestling show it in my state, that makes me aware of wrestling Impact. That spans the wrestling fan base for your product. Not in Mexico.
46 other states they haven't hit. Like they haven't hit in 5 or 6 years.
I'm making an example. That person in Virginia. Now, that's more than just one person. You see what I'm saying? But that person lives here.
Look, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree because to me, Impact hasn't went to Virginia, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, any of these crazy states. They haven't been like Impact to me has been to like 4 or 5 states over the past 5 years. And if your argument is that then that I'm not gonna be able to like me saying let's pull me out of the wrestling fan umbrella, I won't be able to find them, or I wouldn't necessarily be looking for them. Well, regardless of where they are, it's irrelevant because there's 45 to 46 other states that never sees Impact live ever.
That don't matter if somebody here in America is witnessing it. You know what I'm saying? It's passing it on in America. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but America isn't everything.
Huh?
America isn't everything. There's a whole world out there of wrestling fans. So basically, you're saying that wrestling fans in America are the only ones that matter. Wrestling fans in Mexico don't matter. Wrestling fans in Canada don't matter. Wrestling fans in Australia don't matter because they're not in America.
Not really. The American market, the only thing that matters. Put it like that. This market. If you're not in this market, nothing else matters.
Yeah, so
that's what I mean. Put it like that.
Mexico don't matter because they're not in the American market.
Well, but I guess my question is like,
that's why it's only WWE. That's why only people know WWE. That's why.
But what,
only people like us.
What's wrong? This is my question, Rabbit. What's wrong with Impact going to Mexico? I mean, it's 7 weeks. 7 weeks out of the year. There's a lot of weeks in the year. 52.
All right, let's say 7 weeks. You know how long that is? And they doing tapings. So that's going to stretch them all the way to August, September. Without having to do anything else anywhere else.
What I'm saying, if they're doing 7 weeks of tapings in Mexico, that means they're doing 2 months of tapings. So when they come back to the States, like, it's not like they're gonna come back to the States and like immediately do tapings. Like they got it planned out, however they got it planned out. So people are gonna be doing Impact tapings as the tapings are going on. Like I don't think it matters like that they go to Mexico for 7 weeks, because that hits the Mexican market. And then they go like their primary market is the United States. Because how often are they in the United States? 90% of the time. 90% of the
primary market will be the United States when no one is aware of them here. That's the problem. That's why they on Twitch, whatever the hell they on there. That's their problem. Now, if you leave, you switch your channels, and then you leave the country. It's no marketing management that even will agree with this right here.
But there's
you starting rebooting your company. You're rebooting it.
Hold up.
You gonna leave the country?
You're acting like they're going to Mexico and they're just stopping everything. They're still doing tapings. They're still on. Like, even so you didn't see it because you're in, Virginia or whatever, Vermont, whatever. People are still gonna take pictures or take videos from these shows, post them on Facebook, post them on Instagram. So you're still gonna see Impact all over social.
Who will be posting that stuff? Mexicans?
Oh my!
Who will be posting that?
I guess because I know we're about to wrap up, but still, like I just feel
Who
like
will be posting
regardless, I just feel like regardless of where they are, the same amount of people can see the show. Regardless, the TV channel's not changing just because they go to Mexico. Like they're still gonna send the feed to Pursuit. Regardless, they still gonna send the feed to Twitch.
It's more to it than just that.
At 10 p.m. on Friday. Me in New Mexico
more
be able to watch.
It's on the ground. What counts is that's what makes your product grow. The ground. If your ground is in Mexico, there's no way you're gonna grow your product. Well, everybody in Mexico liking you. They're not gonna like your product for the fact that it's not gonna take over AAA. It's not gonna take over their product that they already have there. So what are you doing? So that's my point. You have no fan base here in America. You're losing that. For the last 2 years, that's been dripping out the bottom of the pan. So now what? You rebooting and going to Mexico. How that works? You go to a channel nobody knows how that works.
But if we talking about foot traffic, what about the years that they stayed in Florida the whole year, never went anywhere else? How are they getting foot traffic?
We heard about them. How many people tweeted them that was in Florida? You know how much information you got out of Florida? Out of every map.
People are gonna tweet them in Mexico. What the fuck?
It's not the same.
But at the same time, me being from Virginia, I can tweet out that I watched Impact tonight. You can tweet out that you watched Impact from DC. He can tweet out that he watched Impact from Pennsylvania. It's the word is still gonna get out regardless. Like if you want to watch it, you gonna watch it.
What about the people physically in the ring? What about all that feedback you get on the line from that? From people in Florida?
But that's building their Mexico audience. So when they come back to the United States for 90% of the time, when they come back to the United States for 90% of the time, the Mexico audience is gonna want to watch the show now because they went to Mexico. It's what I feel. But I know we're running long here, so I want to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But let's go ahead and end this live video. Definitely, always time for a debate on the Impact review. But be sure if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Rabbit313 on Twitter. If you want to disagree or agree with him, go ahead and let him know. But other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one. This was the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant.